Hi, this is Jeremy again. I just watched your video about the future of energy beyond Earth, and since I haven't, people change over time. Like you were saying, like we we watch a video and that changes who we are on the inside, and so I guess I've watched a lot of videos, and so first of all, I'm gonna start at the end of your video and then work my way back because so I guess I'll start off with when the two singularity civilizations merge together or start warring with each other, and the basic concepts around that is which algorithms are you going to use, which platforms are you going to use, because um, you know, there's this in Kurzweil's book, The Singularity is Near. It says like the fast Fourier transform thing that turns radio waves or whatnot into I don't know, stuff that reads the computer. Is like he says that it's like 40,000 times more efficient than it was in the 60s now or whatnot. Well, the thing is that it's not that when the singularity civilizations come together, they could exchange algorithms, but the thing is that algorithms can be used for different things. Like you can use for example, when we type into our keyboards, we don't type ones and zeros in order to get the letter A or B. We don't type 11110000, whatever numerical value in binary equals A. We don't use that system. We just press the letter A, and so like you press the letter, or like the president, he has this one button. You press that one button, destroys the entire Earth, and so that's like a compression algorithm. And so if you use different algorithms for different things, like for example the Kinect, like I'm sure they don't use algorithms on the Kinect would be the same algorithms that they would use for the Wiimote controller, because it's just that I don't know. There's like a spectrum, or like a grid or like a cube of what the different algorithms are best for. And so when you talk about platforms, it's not really about platforms. It's more like personalities. Like for example, my personality, if you look on my YouTube channel, I put it MBTI INFP. INFP is my personality if you look according to that psychological thing. So when you talk about platforms, it's really about psychology. It's sort of like Jedi versus Sith. When I play that video game, uh, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. It's and it's between psychology. It's not between platforms, because we do this massive computation. But there's a reason why we do this massive computation, and it's because, like you were talking about, ideology, and so that has to do with psychology. So if we're going to look up into where the future of our civilization is going, because psychology is a hard thing to change. Ideology is a hard thing to change, just like in Star Wars, it's a hard thing to change. And so besides that, there's also how do we get the energy? Do we create a Dyson sphere, or do we move to another star? Like you said, cables, nanotubes between the stars, and it's like just because I'm into all this this radical what's possible and stuff like that. That's why I like the singularity, and I guess you like the singularity because you can think of all the possible things. Well, when I was trying to figure out the nature of reality, like I tried looking into like for example, when I was 17, I decided like I'm not going to hell. Like Christianity is bogus in that respect. Like I'm a good person. It's like what's wrong with Christianity? And it's like that's just like a psychological trauma that I have. So like it has to do with ideology, I guess. So I started looking into other religions. I was like Buddhism, other stuff like that. And so it's like since I looked into Buddhism, I also looked into like those during the 60s they had like DMT, and it's like you take this chemical and it's like your mind starts expanding into the rest of the universe so that you know every possibility of everything that's ever happened in the entire universe or whatnot. And I never took DMT, but just because I like thinking about possibilities, like I had to consider that. And so there's this person called Cliff High of the WebBot project, and he has this very interesting notion about the nature of reality. Like he says that we aren't actually made out of atoms. It would be like he says that the nature of reality is like a computer simulation. It's like things aren't solid. It's like he says that what we are is that we're actually energy that's a standing wave form. So it's I don't know how to explain it in such a way that can because I don't know the mathematics of standing waves, but I do know that if you there's these if we look at the nature of reality as waves instead of particles, we come to very interesting conclusions. For example, the mass movements of people during different ages, like for example, like the civil rights movement, the American Revolution. Just because I'm American and I come from like that perspective, those are the things I know about. And so just from that perspective, Cliff High says that energy, since we're basically waves and stuff like that, just like in a computer, you can when they create things on the computer, it's actually ones and zeros turning on and off. So that means that if we think about how we exist in this universe, then that means that when I say that my hand exists, what I'm actually saying is that these waves come together and they're coherent. They stay where they are, and because of the properties of just them coming together, it's sort of like rogue waves in like the south tip of Africa, whereas like all these smaller waves vibrate together, and all of a sudden 100-meter wave comes out of the middle of the ocean where the waves were barely like 10 feet high to begin with, and it was no storms, no nothing, no tsunamis or whatnot. And so that comes up with another thing of how entropy can be averted. Entropy can be averted because once you get to the point like where it's 100% entropy. From a video I saw, they've done statistical analysis where the entropy, since it's 100% already, it can, from the random fluctuations, can dip down back to 50% non-entropy. And so since you don't know much about physics and I don't know much about physics, what I think is that, or what I think because of this thing I heard, is that I'm sorry. It's like I heard that like on the quantum physics level, because of the fluctuations, uh, we there's like a 10 to the 100th times whatnot more energy in a cubic centimeter than there is in the entire universe, and that's just because and the reason why it doesn't explode and we're all disintegrated is because it's not coherent like our hands are. And so what happens is, just like when it can tip down below the entropy point from the 100% entropy level, that means that we can actually, if we use the right mathematical calculations, and this is like how they do cold fusion and or like regular fusion with the machines the size of Walmart. But if we wanted to create regular fusion, like the size of my laptop, then all we'd have to do is find the right mathematical formulas and of how the waves are moving together, and so we send the right waves at the right time. This is sort of like how in martial arts you can defeat an opponent that's like 100 times stronger than you just by like points in his body. Like you poke one point of his body and that sends an electric current all the way up to the part of his brain that kills him or whatnot. And so that's the same way that we can create energy from the vacuum energy that's 100 times 100 10 to the 100th times more powerful than the entire universe. By sending in the right waveforms, we can create standing waves of energy to get free energy. And I know this all sounds crazy, but I'm just like I said before, like I just like thinking about things like that. And so it's not real, and so it's another thing is just to mention some more things about how the reality, if you view it as waves instead of particles, there's these things called thresholds, there's these things called tipping points, there's these things called, I don't know, all the mathematics in the entire universe, they work together in a wave function. The only reason they work in a particle function is when two standing waves bump together. It's like this wave and this wave, they can't go through each other. But that doesn't mean that they're not waves. It just means that like they're not balanced. I don't know, but I saw a movie about quantum mechanics, and it says that if under the right conditions, it might be 10 to the 1000th power, but there's a 1 in 10 to the 1000th power that my hand could merge together and go past each other and then go back like that, just because of the quantum physics level. And so that's what it is. That's what it means when we talk about waves. It's just that I don't know, it's really confusing. But anyway, that's all I had to say. My video is running out of time, so thank you for listening.